Hello viewers, I am Solomon Joseph Gekura, and in a very special way, I welcome you all to the private class with the Millennium Teacher, a program brought to you by the Good News Broadcasting Corporation, GNBC. The private class is a class that inspires, motivates, and transforms an individual into a better person. You may have heard that life is a lesson, and for some reason or the other, you may or not have believed, but I want to let you know this day that life is indeed a lesson. And because life is a lesson, that is why this program, Private Class, has been established as a class that teaches the lessons of life based on facts. Life is a lesson. You may ask, what is a lesson? Well, simply put, a lesson is something to be learned. So that means life is something to be learned. Yes, because it is a mystery, something that is unknown to every man. Therefore, the only way to know it is by learning. Hence, life is a lesson. You will agree with me that when we all came into this world, none of us knew anything about life. We didn't even know how to do anything for ourselves. But today, we all know a lot of things about life. We can do so many things, not only for ourselves, but even for other people. How is that possible? Because of the various lessons we have learned so far. So it holds true that life is a lesson, and therefore, the best way to live it is by learning. It is said that education is the key to success. True or false? I know you have your own answer, and I also have mine. But before I give my own answer, I'd like us to consider the definition in the statement, the key definitions in the statement. Education is the key to success. Now we start with education. Education means facts, skills, and ideas that have been learned either formally or informally. In other words, it is the acquisition of knowledge. Education means to acquire knowledge. You may have your own meanings to these words, but these are some simple dictionary definitions. So key is an object designed to open and close what is locked. Success is the achievement of one's aim or goal, or the fact of getting or achieving wealth, respect, or fame. So in my opinion, education is the key to success, because to succeed in any area of life, you need to acquire knowledge in that particular area. If education is the key to success, then why is it that many of us are educated and still unsuccessful? That is the big question we all have to answer. A lot of us are asking that question. A lot of people are asking that question. If education is the key to success, why is it that we have been educated but still unsuccessful? It is because of the wrong ideas that we have about education. We have been made to believe that education is all about going to academic school to acquire formal knowledge. That is what we have been made to believe. That's what they told us. They make it look like except we go to school, the academic school, to acquire formal knowledge, to learn how to read and write, without that you cannot succeed. So that is how they put education to us. And because of this wrong idea, this misinterpretation of the statement, education is the key to success, that is why a lot of us today are educated. Some of us have our degrees, some people have their masters, some doctorates, you name them. To higher levels, people have been educated. But most of us are still unsuccessful because of the misunderstanding of that statement, because of the wrong definition that has been given to that statement, to the word education. We have defined education as meaning only to acquire academic knowledge. So education does not only have to do with the acquisition of formal knowledge, but also informal. We need to acquire informal knowledge. Life comprises so many problems, and every man has its own. You have your own, I have mine. So, to succeed in life, you must try by all means to solve your own problems. Just like I said, you have yours, I have mine. To solve any problem, you must acquire knowledge in the area related to that problem. Any problem you want to solve in life, you must acquire knowledge related to that particular area. If you do not acquire that knowledge that relates to the problem that you are faced with, you won't be able to solve that problem. So academic education is not enough to succeed in life, because there are so many problems in life that academic education cannot solve. No matter how hard you try it, it cannot solve it. It is good to know that we cannot succeed in life without education, but we can succeed in life without academic education. Now you need to know that I'm not trying to condemn academic education here, because it is very important. But the point I'm trying to make here is that our success in life depends on education, and that education does not only have to do with academics. In that light, I put it to you that there are so many types of education, but for this class, we'll consider just 4 of them. The types of education. The first education, my opinion for this class, like I said, is domestic education. The second education is religious education. The third is academic education, the one that we know of already. And the fourth is technical education. So, because of time now, we just stop here for today, being that we are starting the class just today. This is just an introductory part of the private class. We are trying to introduce life as a lesson before we come to the lessons now that we need to learn. So this is just an introduction. We'll continue the introduction in our next class as well, because we are yet to understand everything the class is all about. Because we have to set the pace, we have to create the foundation before we come in with every other thing. So, as you have seen, we are trying to establish here that life is a lesson, and this lesson we all need to learn every day in order that life will go on for us very well. Private class will continue again next week by the grace of God. And when we come next week, we'll deal with these types of educations that we have highlighted, these 4 types. By the way, like I said, there may be so many types of educations, but for this class, we are just looking at these four types. And you will need to also know that this private class, it's a class, it gives a general knowledge. It gives a general knowledge that could be applicable to all the areas of life. It could be applicable in whatever area you find yourself in. So that is why it is called private class. It's a class, a lesson that you take. You'll be able to solve other problems relating to life by the grace of God. And so, like, just as it is that every lesson needs a book, therefore, I'd like to let you know that for this private class, we of course will be using the textbook where our notes will be taken from. We also have other handouts that we produce, but mainly for the class, the textbook is going to be this one. This one, known as the Holy Bible, is going to be our textbook, because this, in my opinion, is the manual of life. If we are to live life in a way and manner that will be pleasing unto God, in a way and manner that will be better for us, we need to have the manual. This manual is what we are going to be using for the lesson, for teaching the lessons of life, because I believe that in this book, the Holy Bible, is found everything that we need to know about life and how we need to live life. And so, by the special grace of God, it's going to be our main textbook, like I said. But as time goes on, we'll prepare some other handouts and print it out by the grace of God, which we'll make available. And I encourage you all to try to have a copy of this textbook, which we are going to be using for the class. And by the time the handout will be out, I also encourage you to buy your own copy by the grace of God. And so, just in case you may not have registered for the class, of course you may not have registered, this is the first class. I encourage you all to register to the class. Register for the private class by clicking the subscribe button on your screen to register for this class. You don't have to pay anything to register for this class. Just click the subscribe button and you'll be registered for the private class. And also don't forget to click the notification bell so that you'll not be late for the next class. You'll be reminded. And don't forget to tell other people about the class for them to join us in the private class. And as we continue to learn, don't be the only person learning here. Bring your brother, bring your sister, whosoever your friend you know. Let us all join together in this private class, and we pray that God will see us through. There are so many things we are going to actually learn in this lesson, in this class. I will assure you of that. But in case you don't understand anything at this point, plead with you kindly to hold on. Follow up with the class. There are a lot of things you are going to learn if you continue to follow up by the grace of God. Till we meet again in the next class, I have been your teacher, Solomon Jisokekura. Class dismissed.